Hey, it's Gage, vocalist for that band, the one whose channel you're on right now, Bird, OfficialBYRD, that's us, that's our, band. I do some vocals for that band, unfortunately for them. And as someone with very little singing experience, I have a long ways to go before I'm at where I would like to be, but a great way to improve at something is to find people who are good at that something and take inspiration and learn from them. And with this and the title of the video, you probably know where I'm going. This is my list of my favorite vocalists and music right now. Alrighty then, off we go. You know, as a metalhead, Hollywood Undead is sort of one of my guilty pleasures in music. They're a little far from the doom and gloom that us typical metalheads are used to. This is my list and I'll put whoever I like on it. Okay? Cool. Anyways, who could be my pick out of the 5 members of this rap rock whatever they are group? Little predictable, but Jordan Terrell, otherwise known by his alias, Charlie Scene. To keep it quick and concise, I love his delivery, I love his personality, and I just tend to like any song he's on, which is most of them. It was actually up for debate whether the great and the mean Charlie Scene was going to make this list, but after recently seeing them perform live, I was sold and he made the number 10 spot. Well, here we are at number 9 with Rob Flynn of Machine Head. While I don't know much about who he is in terms of personality, I do know a bit about his music. I like it. He's got an interesting and unique voice, one that I enjoy listening to very much, and especially in their most recent album, Catharsis. Good music, good band. All there is to say about that one. Next. If you've ever heard of any sort of heavy metal, among some of the most popular bands out there is, of course, Five Finger Death Punch. And if you know your metal trivia, you'll know the number 8 on this list goes to Ivan Moody. Five Finger and their very accessible sort of style are a big part of the reason I'm into metal today. It just seems so straightforward and motivational. And that is exactly the sort of tone Moody gives off. Tells you to do something, you listen. It's just how it is, and I bloody love it. It's a great style of music, and they got some mad catchy riffs, but this is about vocalists, so let's stay on track. On to number 7. Oh, where would my edgy teen phase be without healthy doses of Avenged Sevenfold? While I don't listen to them as much as I used to, I still hold a place in my heart for their vocalist, Matthew Charles Sanders, or better known by his stage name, M. Shadows. It just makes me think of someone that is particularly hungry for shade. Shadows. Something about his whole style just kind of reeks of metal and badassery with his signature shades and bandana and... Wait a minute, this is seeming a bit familiar. But regardless, Matty Shadows is on this list simply because, along with Five Finger Death Punch and some other bands, Avenged Sevenfold is what really defined my music taste, and without him and his kick-ass vocals, I might not be making this list today. For that, he gets the number 7 spot. DevilDriver, Satan Mover, Lucifer Taxi. All jokes aside, the vocalist of DevilDriver, Des Fafara, is one of the people I most aspire to at least pick up a few things from. He's what I consider the epitome of growling, and that is definitely shown in most of DevilDriver's work. So if I could be as blessed as this fellow in the way of the Cookie Monster, I believe that would be heavily beneficial for our music, no pun intended. That and being able to hit a note higher than a footstool might help. Here we are at the middle of the road for this countdown with someone who is an above-average vocalist, in my opinion. Happy of Trivium, a band I enjoy very much, has a very good mid-range style and definitely knows his way around a microphone, as most older vocalists and older bands tend to do. It's just an all-around good guy, this one. Not much more to be said. You know, Seether is the sort of band that really only writes one sort of song. But I'll be damned if it isn't a good song every time they write it. What would a good song be without good vocals? And luckily, Seether's vocalist, Sean Morgan, provides. He's definitely got a good voice, and one that certainly fits the bill for the type of music the band likes to write. Nothing too spectacular, but just overall good-sounding vocals, which is always appreciated. They're sort of like the Taylor Swift of rock, the way they write. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Coming in at number 3, this wasn't particularly difficult for me. Getting right to the point, we have the Reverend himself, Maynard James Keenan of Tool. This guy has, what doesn't he have? I'm not entirely convinced he's human. He has to be some sort of extraterrestrial being, because no man should really be capable of what he pulls off. Or at least that might be true if he hadn't remembered his pen. Great range, great sound, powerful, and not much there not to like. Not to mention he's got a kind of odd personality, which isn't unusual for metal vocalists, and certainly not unwelcome. And Maynard really completes the million-piece puzzle that is all of Tool, and he does it quite nicely. Coming back to bands that shape my taste in music, we reach the band and vocalist of whom made me discover metal and really start to dig deeper into the genre. Chad Gray of Mudvayne, or most recently Hell Yeah. I just really adore this fellow and his incredibly guttural screams and really everything about his vocal style. Even after Mudvayne disbanded, his vocal style didn't really change much after moving over to Hell Yeah, and if it weren't for a particular fellow coming up next, he would have easily made number 1. And my number 1 pick for favorite vocalist of all time is, of course, Chad Kroeger of Nickelback. Oh god, it hurt me just to say that. I'm sorry. For real though, my actual favorite vocalist is Johannes Eckerstrom of Avatar. Honestly, what else could I say to explain this other than this guy really rocks? Like, other than being a great vocalist with incredible range and other such things, he's just an awesome personality on and off stage. If you've never listened to Avatar, I highly recommend that you do, because I can't really put it into words. Just go, listen to them. If you can, go see them live, wherever they are, whenever they are. See this guy and his amazing band live. Do it, please. The best I could describe it is like a siren song for me. I hear it, and I don't care where I am or what I'm doing. I'm jumping ship to get closer, to embrace the perfection that is this man's voice. Only minor exaggeration there. Anyways, this has been Gage from the band Bird on the channel OfficialBYRD, and my list of the top 10 best, in my opinion, vocalists in music. If you don't like my opinions, that sucks. This is the internet. Not much you can do to change my mind, guy. Anyways, I'm out of here. Toodles, doodles.